This high-profile triple murder trial in regional Victoria has now entered its 6th week. This morning, spectators queued outside the Latrobe Valley Law Courts, keen to secure a seat in courtroom 4, where accused killer Erin Patterson was giving evidence for the second day. After weeks of evidence, defence barrister Colin Mandy SC yesterday rose and told the court the defence will call Erin Patterson. She wore a dark, long-sleeve, paisley-patterned shirt. Her long brown hair was out. She gave her full name, Erin Trudy Patterson, her age 50, and swore to tell the truth. Erin Patterson's defence team, in their opening address to the Supreme Court, admitted their client had told a number of lies to police in the days following the lunch. Ms Patterson is accused of murdering her estranged husband's parents, Don and Gail Patterson, and Aunt Heather, and attempting to murder his uncle Ian Wilkinson by deliberately serving them a beef Wellington lunch containing death cap mushrooms at her home in Leongatha. From the outset, Erin Patterson has maintained her innocence and insists their deaths were a tragic accident. In the second day of her evidence, Erin Patterson admitted to developing an interest in wild mushrooms in 2020 during COVID lockdown. She gave evidence that she started collecting them on her property and frying them up with butter to see if they tasted good and didn't make her sick. And she was sending photos of mushrooms in her dehydrator to her Facebook friends.
Had you always liked eating mushrooms?
Yeah, I had.
Why?
They taste good and they're very healthy.
And what did you like about the more exotic mushrooms?
They just taste more interesting, more flavour.
Erin Patterson said she foraged for mushrooms from 2020 to the middle of 2023 at the Botanic Gardens in Korumburra, a rail trail leading out of Leongatha and on her 3-acre block. She told the court she bought a dehydrator because it was one way of preserving them and having them available throughout the year. Colin Mandy SC asked Erin if she remembers going to any locations with oak trees. She agreed there were 2 or 3 at the Korumburra Botanic Gardens and admitted she may have picked wild mushrooms near them. Earlier in the trial, fungi expert Tom May gave evidence that death cap mushrooms grew around oak tree varieties. When Erin Patterson was asked by her defence barrister if she accepted that the beef Wellington meal that she served lunch guests in July 2023 contained death cap mushrooms, she said, "I do." When she was asked where the mushrooms came from, she said the vast majority came from Woolworths in Leongatha and the grocer in Melbourne. Erin Patterson told the jury that despite separating from her partner Simon in 2015, they split everything down the middle, including property and debts. In emotional evidence, she said Simon's parents, Don and Gail Patterson, treated her like their daughter-in-law and continued to love her. By 2022, the former couple were experiencing difficulties. Erin Patterson was asked about messages to Facebook friends where she expressed frustration with Simon and his family over their response to a disagreement over financial issues. Colin Mandy SC read out a message she sent to the group in December 2022. So, Don said they can't adjudicate if they don't know both sides, and Simon won't give his side. So, he said all that he can ask is that Simon and I get together to pray for the children. This family, I swear to f***ing God. Erin Patterson wiped away tears in the witness box as her defence barrister, Colin Mandy SC, asked her to explain these Facebook messages about Simon's family. She said she regretted the language she used and said she played up to the emotion of it to get support from her online friends.
Did you mean those things?
No, I didn't. I was really frustrated with Simon. It wasn't Don and Gail's fault. It wasn't the family's fault.
Today, 7:30 had a designated seat inside the courtroom during Erin Patterson's testimony. Inside, there is not a single spare seat. It is a full courtroom. Throughout her evidence, members of the Patterson family, listening on intently, have been taking notes. Earlier in the trial, surviving lunch guest Ian Wilkinson gave evidence that Erin Patterson announced at the fatal lunch she'd had a biopsy and that she had cancer and wanted advice on how to tell the children. Ian Wilkinson told the court Ms Patterson said it was some kind of ovarian or cervical cancer. Today, defence barrister Colin Mandy SC asked Erin Patterson,
Have you ever been diagnosed with ovarian cancer?
I have not.
Have you ever had a needle biopsy on a lump on your elbow?
I have never had a needle biopsy anywhere.
Were you worried about having ovarian cancer at any stage?
Yeah, I was.
Defence barrister Colin Mandy SC referred to Erin Patterson Googling medical symptoms which indicated a range of possible serious illnesses, including brain tumour, ovarian cancer, lupus, MS and heart problems. The court has also previously been shown Erin Patterson's medical records showing visits to doctors discussing her concerns at having ovarian cancer. Yesterday, Erin Patterson told the jury of a never-ending battle with low self-esteem she was experiencing around the time of the lunch in mid-2023 and her plans to undertake weight loss surgery. She described her relationship with estranged husband Simon at that point as functional and said her relationship with his family had also changed.
I'd become to have concerns that Simon was not wanting me to be involved too much with the family anymore. Perhaps I wasn't being invited to so many things.
Erin became emotional when talking about the birth of her first child in January 2009. She described it as a traumatic birth and told the court doctors wanted her to stay in hospital because she hadn't healed well enough, but she wanted to leave when her child and Simon were discharged. She said Simon told her, "You can just do it, let's leave."
Did that involve you discharging yourself against medical advice?
Yep, it did.
After a day and a half in the witness box, Erin Patterson will continue to give evidence tomorrow before she is cross-examined by the prosecution.